specific to race. It's specific to behavior. Just want y'all to understand that. I seen so many people wanting to become old white men during this time. Like, you got a lot of black entrepreneurs, black men and women want to become, some of the black women want to become white women. And by that, I mean the emulation of their success. And by the emulation of that success, they want to emulate the archetype, the behavior, the speech patterns, the dress code, the movements, the whole nine. So that's what I see. I'm like, damn, where did you get that? Where did you get that model of behavior from? See, black women, let me give y'all some game and y'all got to take it. Because I was listening to Kevin Samuel's interview with T.I. I said, man, I might have been a little harsh on this brother. Yeah, his approach was viral. That's what I call behavior like that. It's just viral behavior, behavior that polarizes. But the man had a lot of gems and a lot of logic. And it's not fair that I say why the brother not alive this, but I guess it's probably even more fair because your legacy is, the assets you leave behind. But I listened to the logic and I couldn't find one point that I disagreed. I said, damn, this is my first time actually listening to the man talk. And the man made all nothing but sense. God damn it, I couldn't agree, I couldn't disagree. I was looking for a smidget of disagreement. I couldn't find it. Now, my whole thing was context, and I think that there was some nuances, a couple of things missing that I could have added to a conversation to make it high level. And then I think it would have been, the spirit was missing on a lot of it. That's what it was. The spirit was missing. We got to get back to it. The spirit was missing. So I think the spirit was missing, and that's why, in regards to some people, and I ain't gonna call the man Godfather. That's some other weird stuff. We not doing that. We not doing that. You know what I'm saying? We not doing that. It's chill. It's weird. I see people getting them tatted and calling them Godfather. I don't know. You a grown man. Like, you a grown man, B. Just chill, B. Like, he gave you some relationship advice. Just chill. Just relax. But let's get to it. So what I was saying was, the sisters, though, black women during the time, of course, not having any power, not having any rights and things of that nature, right? White women didn't have any rights, right? It took the 19th Amendment for white men to give white women the right to vote. Black people just got voting rights. We didn't really get the right to vote as natural human beings. But what happened is that when you looked at corporate America, who's at the top of corporate America? The top of corporate America is white folks, white men specifically. So when women wanted equality, what they said is we want to be treated the same way white men are treated. So when they find themselves getting into a position of power where they get to become a president, they get to become in the good old boys club. You understand me? They have to masculate themselves and act a certain way, right? They have to emulate the behavior of the people around to get the approval, right? So it wasn't so much that they wanted equality per se. They wanted power, and they wanted to be treated the same way that older white men were treated. You understand me? And that's the love affair idea that they had. And they end up taking on that good old boys club, that bravado, that energy, and that intellect. So they was going for power. And what happened is when they took on that energy, that mindset, their philosophies, they became less attractive to black men. Because black men was like, that, first of all, white masculine energy is not attractive to straight black males. So when you come home with that energy, or you walk around with that energy, that now you've obtained this level of success, you no longer have any attraction because your energy, your spirit, you understand me, is now opposite. So now you've masculated yourself into this role by emulating white male success because these are white male dominated areas, right? These is what you look up to. Go find somebody that works for Joe Biden. They look up to that man. A lot of them like really love him. I'm talking about not like I want to vote. I'm talking about love the white power structure. I had a conversation with a brother yesterday. Not yesterday, but the other day. And he said, you know, I ain't got no problem with Bush. I said, what you mean? What do you mean? Why would you say that? What you talking about? And I'm like, you mean like, he said, no, I ain't got no problem with him. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I reviewed his history and, you know, I ain't tripping on Bush. I kind of like Bush, basically, is what he was saying. Like, I have no feelings of ill will or anything connected to where I see anything basically bad about Bush legacy. I said, what? What's wrong with this brother, man? You know what I'm saying? What's wrong with this, bro? I almost called for one of them COVID testings, you know, and he had to get the swab to see if the brother was all right. I said, we talking about the Bush that did the WMDs and murdered all the people and did the Katrina stuff? You ain't got no issue with that, man? He was like, nah, I'm cool with it. I said, what the hell is wrong? And I was like, man, this is crazy. So we went down a quick little rabbit hole of conversation. And no matter what I said, he rocked with Bush and Obama was his presidents. I think it was Bush and Obama, I think. I said, man, goddamn. There's just certain, and Mechie in here, you know what I'm talking about. There's just certain people whose spirit and minds are just different, y'all. You know, and no matter what, you can't, it's not a logic, it's just, the spirit is different. The energy is different. You know, I've got the talent to see a devil as a devil and I just keep it moving. But I said, damn, this brother crazy. And lost his goddamn cotton picking mind. You understand me? And I realized that there's so many people out there like that, and there's really no point in trying to change the minds because they've decided that they are okay with white supremacy. They've decided that they admire certain aspects of, you know, white supremacy. And the fact is that it's because we know more of their programming than we know our own. See, I was listening to a conversation. I forget what brother it was that gave the breakdown, but he said that, you know, Alexander the Great ain't got shit on Hannibal Barker. Hannibal Barker was a black military general, one of the greatest military geniuses ever to exist. At 22 years old, a black man went and conquered Rome. Now, we living in modern day Rome. At 22 years old, this is why when they study our history, they become afraid. They said, man, this man was 22 years old. He went and conquered Rome at 22. He finished what his father was started. This is family legacy. They study that man to this day. Like Andre, what's the brother say? To this day. And see, when you don't know your history, you will be in love with Alexander the Great and never know who Hannibal Barker is. You will be in love with him. And a person try to tell you about Hannibal Barker and you don't want to hear nothing. Because that's all you know. So it's not that I'm mad at the brother. I don't look at him any, different per se. I just see people, your programming is your programming. But if you knew that that's the bloodline you come from, I ain't talking about Egypt. That's one place. Egypt is easy to manufacture inspiration from Egypt because of all they left behind. But when you go to the continent and you see a genius general who conquered Rome, and Rome was supposed to be the greatest civilization, at 22 years old, it's a different type of energy you get knowing where you come from. I don't know how old how Mansa Musa was, probably in his 30s or something, you know what I'm saying? But we different. So you all have to realize that, and you got to realize you're dealing with a people who don't know themselves, who don't have spirit, don't have energy, who don't know vibration. if you don't understand those functions and how we ritualize spirit, energy, and vibration throughout our culture, how we existed in the highest planes of intellect at all times throughout antiquity, how we invented math and language and agriculture and so many different things, and how we mastered the arts of war and economics. But if you realize that's in you, then you pull it out of you. But if you don't think it's in you, you never tap inward to pull it outward. And this is how they've conquered us. This is where we get stuck with so much that when we think about the highest levels of greatness in all fields and categories, there's going to be a white man in our minds. When you all think about God, some of you all have tattoos of white Jesus on your body today. You own black skin, you get the features of Caesar Borgia on you. When you think about the greatest scientists, you may think about Einstein or Tesla. What? You think about the greatest mathematicians, right? Inventors. You think about other people, but your own. And it's easier to build with a people whose infrastructure, mental infrastructure, has the mind of their own culture. To where it could be like, pull out the Booker T. Washington in you. Pull out the Marcus Garvey in you. Pull out the Imhotep in you. Pull out the Hannibal Barker in you. Pull out the Harriet Tubman in you. Pull out the Sojourner Truth. Pull out that which you come from, because your DNA is the makeup of all these things. Pull out the wild horse. See, you don't know your native beginnings. You don't know your Afrocentric beginnings. So in the histories of America, how many people know a focus on the Native American wars against the Europeans, the British, the colonizers? We don't know, but that's our history. How many of us know who John Horse is? That's our history. But when you don't know what's inside you. So we have to change that, because the moment that I can help program you and you realize what's already within you, then it's easier for you to pull that out. It's easier for you to pull on that and be like, damn, you're right. I could tap into what's already in me. I ain't even got to create nothing. And see, every other culture has that power. That's the difference. And this is the secret on why we have not won and went anywhere. Because we don't realize the power. When we talk ancestors, we don't realize what we talking about. We saying that we are them, but in a literal manner. That the information, the experience, the emotions that made them who they were is trapped in the spirit molecules of our DNA that we get to pull out. The Asians know this. The Hispanic people know this, right? The Asians believe in Buddha, the Taoism, right? Taoism and all of this other different stuff. They pull on samurai spirits and, Qing dynasties and things of that nature, right? And even know that when you go further back in Mongolia and you go to certain parts, you're going to find darker skinned people. We don't have enough knowledge to pull from that same energy source. You go to the Hispanic people, they looking at the Mayans, right? And the different peoples that come over there, and they pulling from those civilizations. Even though you go over there, those are the darker people of the planet Earth that we pull from. You go to whites, they looking at the Nordic people. They looking at the Irish, even though they mixed blood people. When you go farther back, you go find those black pygmy people, right? You looking at the Greeks and the Romans and all of these different sources that they pull from, whether there's made up mythology or there's real history, right? They warrior class, all of it. They got so much history they get to pull from. They like, damn, boy, we done came from it all. We done did it all. We the best of it all. I know y'all dying to talk about death, but I'm not talking about death right now. I'm not a news channel. Y'all dying to talk about death and who done died. And it's the saddest thing on the planet, but how much can we afford? You got to understand, first of all, I just want to let y'all know there's some serious things that's playing in the background, and y'all think any of these things are coincidences, whether it's a white man or a black man. You got to understand the strategies that's being in place. There's psyops. There's things that's going on behind the scenes. And if you can't see behind the scenes, don't talk about what's in front. The most dangerous thing is to have a discussion about the distraction. I'm going to just say it. Because everybody was praising the Ukraine war. Oh, let's go over there and send money to Ukraine. What you think they're going to do with that money? They fighting a war. People dying. They sending troops over to Somalia and parts of Africa to occupy. What you think they doing when they in Afghanistan? When they in Iraq? Right? When we killing Iranians? What you think is happening? It's the same thing. See, death is justified because of people that commit murder and mass genocide against other people. They go continue to do it. They say, well, how is one death worse than another? Growing up in St. Louis and Oakland, I didn't see nothing but murder and murder and murder. You may say it's kids or you may say it's adults. The death is a death. The worst part about it is this, and I'm just going to let y'all know that some of y'all could not really afford to focus on that at all. How many of y'all really think you can afford to have conversations about that? Like, economically, things are getting bad. And you may spend time going down a rabbit hole of trying to figure out whether this is a false flag. Is it real? Is it mental health? Is it a manifesto? Is it this, that, and the third? Oh, man, I need to figure this out. I need to know this one piece of information that just came up because it is the story right now. Meanwhile, Henry Kissinger out there dropping bombs on people, messages to the world telling them what needs to happen. And the same person that been planning depopulation for the planet. I think you got to be careful. You got to be careful. How many of you all can say, well, Keys, I didn't set up my family for the next 3 generations, so that's why, I got some time to focus on these things. We got our life plan, our protection plan, our insurance plan, our business plan. We got them all executed, set up strategically. We know exactly where we go invest. We understand the history, the past, the present, the future of the markets. We know how to set ourselves up spiritually. We have a ritual. We have a family Bible, a family plan. You understand me? On everything. We have institutions set up. We have all of these things ready to go. So I just thought that I could spend some of my extra time, since I've set up my entire life for the future generations of my family. I make sure that my son is taken care of, my daughter, my mom, my dad, everybody is taken care of. We solid. We did our status correction. We have our trust set up, our estates. All of these things are taken care of. We got our land, we got our gold, we got silver coins, we got water stored, we got food packages stored in case something happened. We have money set aside for 6 months in advance, maybe to 12, maybe to 3 years if we need be. We got some crypto set aside in the wallet that we buried in the yard. You understand me? Just in case we got, we've learned about the new technology, what's going to happen, so that we can teach our children these new skills to create their own jobs or businesses if they want to. So, we did all that. So now we just, we focus on things in the world now because we got our world taken care of. Find me that person. I promise you, you're never going to find somebody who knows so much about the world and has their world set up because they spent so much time in the world that they didn't create their own. The two do not go hand in hand. You have to understand this. This is me, myself, like, I'm going to sit back and I need to sit back and I've created a plan. It's time for us to execute. It's time for us to get going. I have things that's going to be for the culture. It's not just words. These are actions put behind. But I'm going to tell you this. It took 5 years for that Constitution. It took 4 months for the Constitution to be drafted, 5 months for it to be ratified, for it to be redrafted, and to successfully pass. So anytime you think that there's something that's going to be great, that's going to happen, you have to be patient for it to happen, because the Constitution is what is ruling the world today. A document. Understand that a document is ruling the world, but it took a very long time to make. And that's not even a long time. 5 years is nothing. Imagine if everybody be like, you know what? And this is how I know we not ready. If I said I need everybody here to give $100 a month just so that we can be comfortable enough to think about and get all of the resources together to create our own Constitution for our future. People like, I ain't giving no $100 for man. I can go smoke some hookah, go to the club, throw it at a stripper, buy some new shoes, glasses, hair appointment, entertainment, food. You understand me? Sex, bar, beers, whatever it may be. They ain't ready for that. They were like, well, how y'all think we gonna build a future? Because they allowed a brain trust of families and some of the smartest people to come together to write out this Constitution, and it lasted since 1776. I'm just saying. But we don't even want to get educated. So how do we believe that we're ready for anything? So when we look, and what I'm painting a picture of it is that when you look at your circumstances, you're going to realize that you have all the power, but you no longer have righteous demand. And what you have to do is you have to go into the signature of your being in your heart, and you have to decide that I want to now have righteous demands for my life again. And when you're saying you're taking on the energy of all of the ancestors and which you came from. Y'all speaking with one voice box at once and saying, we back now. We back because we now have power and righteous demand, which means that we can do for self in an unparalleled way that no generation has had the power to do so. This is the difference. See, a person can sit there and they can talk to you all day about something to make it sound good, but everybody can't put spirit in it, because everybody hasn't spent 10,000 hours thinking about ways to liberate the culture. They may have spent 10,000 hours learning real estate, learning credit, learning crypto, learning NFTs and metaverse and, financial this, that, and the third. But how much time, when you want to talk about solutions, it can never be one thing. You have to spend a lot of thinking power. And what happens is you condense all of that thinking power down. And once that's written, all of the energy and power is now imbued into this script that you've put it together. And it exists in a way where when they took 4 months, and they said, we're going to write this Constitution. And I think the Constitution is probably one of the most powerful documents since the Bible and the Quran. People don't think about that. The Constitution, because we are all living off of it. The Constitution is one of the most powerful documents to ever exist. This is the stuff that we need to study. It's easier to create a new Constitution than it is to write a new Bible and a Quran. Because nobody, and here's the secret. The Constitution was written off the Bible. So they didn't reinvent the wheel. So we will not, I will repeat, we will not get further with creating a civilization unless we have our own constitution. Because the one that was written said we was 3/5. Said we weren't even full human beings in acknowledgement. You mean that these men, it took 5 years. All of the ancestors of these white folks was sitting down. They all read that part and they all agreed. These niggas is 3/5. You talking about people that was moral, immoral, scholars, politicians, some of their brightest and most brilliant said that, yes. So what you gonna say? What is it going to say in our Constitution? What is our Constitution going to say? It has to tell the truth. It has to tell the truth. And once we put together this think tank, because I'm about to just propose ideas and execute on them, and I got some very powerful people that want to rock, and we figuring out some powerful strategies. And I just ask y'all rock with me like y'all been rocking with me. Oh, and thank everybody that's been getting a bundle pack. I rock with y'all. I can't wait till we have our 3-day retreat. It's online. It's going to be amazing. But it's going to be different because it's going to have some spirit in it. And somebody said F white people. That's not what this is about. You see, when you miss the point when you make it about, this is how the lowest vibration is to look at a people and to cast a judgment based on what they look like. That is the architectural framework for a devil's way of thinking. And it's not me defending or anything. I just want you to understand that the most dangerous thing is to take on the mindset of the very people that you dislike. And their framework of thinking is just that. That person black, I hate him. That's dangerous. Because that ain't no high vibrational. You can't build a society and civilization. You can't, because you have to destroy all of your logic and intellect and your highest self in order to exist in that framework of thinking. Because as a being, as father of civilization, as one mother of civilization, you just see some badass children. So we understand the nature of things. We understand the history of things. We understand the reality of things like a scientist would. I don't know any scientists that have looked at things that they observed and said, I hate this property because it's this or it's that. No, they just took in the observations. There was no judgment. It's just a matter of fact. And when you exist without emotions, you can live at the highest level and you will not be destroyed. You will not be taken over. Because you understand yourself and you understand your opponent, and you don't allow nothing to compromise your character because it will destroy the high vibrational thinking. So to allow anybody's looks or things of that nature to trigger you means that they have a power over you. And the goal is to rise above emotions into the thinking of God. See, I'm going to go into in the retreat. I'm gonna start the first day of the retreat. We go do some synchronistic stuff, man. Get our minds right on a high level. Like, universal intelligence is key for me. Having that universal intelligent mind. We need to set up our trust. We need to set up our status correction, right? We need to set up our businesses. We need to set up. Everybody should have a book. Everybody should create their own book. Not only you create your own book, put it on the blockchain. You know, I was talking about soul tokens, and the people that get this pack will be some of the first people that will have access to Actually, somebody trying to get me to come out to Africa right now. Tanzania. I think they can only afford to take maybe like 20 people. But you got to have, be able to afford and pay for it. I forget how much it costs, maybe like $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 or something. For like a week, Tanzania and Kenya for Juneteenth. I haven't even said that on the platform yet. But if you're interested, and you got some money, we actually can do a real high level retreat in person in Kenya and Tanzania, which is supposed to call it Tanzania. So DM me first before I say yes to doing it. I gotta have at least 19 people coming with me. You understand me? And it's gonna be powerful. We're gonna film it. We're gonna make it happen. I'll let y'all know what the price is. You gotta have, of course, a budget. This is, relatively, it's not expensive given the amount of things that we're going to do for the type of trip that we have. But yeah, no, I'm a plan on doing a lot more community events. I plan on being in the UK in June and July. So anybody that's in the UK that want to book me for some things or want to lock in, tap in. I plan on getting on the move. They say Juneteenth is on Father's Day. Okay. Wasn't Mother's Day on the okay, Payment say they sponsoring a couple of entrepreneurs. There you go. So I'll let you know, Payment, who we picked in. We about to put this together real fast, and it's gonna be real powerful, and you're gonna wish you was a part of it. I'm just gonna say like that. The UK supposed to be June and July. Everybody that got into Crown Society, my Web3 guy is working on the back end to put together all of the verification, the token gate, which is verifying that you own it and being able to send you a link so that we can send it out. I have my crowns guy. He made 1,000 crowns for me. So those should be done the first week of June so we can start shipping those out and getting those to it. Then I got a powerful PFP project coming. We working on DAOs, systems, organizations on the back end. Beautiful stuff, y'all. But I definitely plan on doing a high-level tour, right? So for me to do high-level conversations, I just need intelligent people that can spark intellectually stimulating conversation in different areas. That's all I need. So that's what I'll be working on. So I'm always looking for more smart people. I need to know who the smartest person in the UK. It ain't got to be the smartest, but it just got to be people that can have high-level conversations. They ain't got to be celebrities. They ain't got to be none of that. Just people that have high intellect. You understand me? In certain subjects. I did one with Master Investor. I shot one with Shaka Bars. I shot one with King Randall. I was supposed to shoot one with Brother Truth. Idris Abdul. Waiting on that to come in. Trying to get Killer Mike. Waiting on his to come in. I talked to all these people that said they'd do it. So we'll see what the timeline looks like. But there's also some elders and some leaders and some, because the start of high-level conversations is the information. I just want to say that. I talked to Erica Lachey. I need to set up a time for her. But the star of high-level conversations is the information. It's the knowledge. It is not the people. I want y'all to remember that, because I don't want to create a show that is based on celebrities or anything, because dealing with celebrities is whack. Some of y'all don't like Shaka Bars, but Shaka Bar has some good information upon Africa. I only know the brother from seeing some stuff on social media and dealing with the brother in person, and the few encounters that I've had, the brother been solid. I don't know why people like him or dislike him, but when I deal with people, I deal with them on the knowledge. I deal with them on the intellect. I don't care about your credentials. So, Bryce, I'm glad you're not the one running the show, because I don't give a damn about your credentials. I just want to have a high-level conversation. I'll let the people go check whether they like it or not. We're not doing that credential crap, because them niggas with credentials don't even be high. They just have the same regurgitated information that they got out of books. Nah. I don't care if you didn't go to school, if you was a dropout. I can, and I'll let the people do their research and let me know whether this was good information or bad. But that's the point of a high-level conversation, because you ain't never asked the rapper for credentials. Never asked the actors for credentials. We watch bad movies and listen to music that's detrimental to us. So when it comes to these high-level conversations, you understand me? The knowledge is the star. And then you go do your research. Never take everything full-heartedly like this is 100%. It is up to you and those who watch to do even more research. And then I don't mind having counter opinions to people that was on the show. Brother said he did. His brother said this was right. Well, this brother said, well, I ain't like that aspect of what he taught. Let me come on the show. And if I think that you solid, I'll bring you on. But you know, this is going to be the smartest show in the world. Yeah, it's about rapping. I don't rap, I spit universes, man. You did. So, but listen, Jayla Price, I appreciate you getting that pack. I see everybody getting their packs today. I think we might have 50 left. Make sure you get yours today. This is a bundle pack of everything that I taught. I'm going to send out a link, 323-577-6692. Once these are gone, they are gone. And once you realize how much was in there that I didn't even say, you lost your mind. And it was $199. Like, it's like, I can't really, like, if you like this conversation I just had, just imagine the amount of information you go get. It can really set your life up and change your life for the better. You understand me? Not even yours, just, your children and your children's children. Like, once the information is in the family, it's yours forever. And like I said, even if you got the Infinite Wealth Strategy Pack, you need to get this. This is entry into the online retreat we're going to do. Yeah, there's a lot of real work to be done, man. First of all, I just want to thank y'all. Everybody that's on here and everybody that's been on here. Text bundle to 323-577-6692 or click the link in my bio. Everybody that's been on here, that's been locking in with me, man, over the years. I think I've been doing this. The bundle does not have an expiration date. When they sell out, they sell out. Everywhere I go, I get a lot of love. Shout out to the brother Alex, good energy in the building. My brother, shout out to you. I just seen him got that truck. Yeah, I see you in Vegas. Everywhere I go, it's so much love, man. And I be thinking, Master Investor asked me, he said, do you feel appreciated? And my response of joy was yes, because I appreciate myself. And then my secondary was, how could I not? Because everywhere I go, I get a testimonial of appreciation, how to change somebody's life. That fills me with so much energy that. Now, the second question was, do you feel valued based on, your work? Like, are you properly compensated? Now, that's a no. But that's going to take a while because, when you curate gold, you got to let the market catch up to the value. But, like I said at the beginning of this, just because the economy is going through a recession don't mean you have to. When you take on recession energy, when you take on bad economic energy, when you take on terrorist acts are going on in the world energy, you bring that into your aura and your energy and your life and you live with it. And then you start to see yourself, your life starts to validate it because that's the only thing in your mind, And if you haven't studied anything about yourself and self-improvement, your mind, your body, your spirit, right? And all you know is everything of the world, every problem, every issue, every gossip, every topic, you are already in a recession. Your stock is already going down. I would not put an option call on your life that is going to increase in value. So you have to be careful and you got to fast from the world. Isolation increases vibration. Remember that. I'll be sitting at home sometime. And lately what I've been doing is I throw on the frequency, the hurts and everything. And I got to get into my mode. I got to isolate because that's where my best thoughts come from. And I cannot think original around a bunch of copies. I have to be by myself to get my original thoughts. Otherwise, I become what? A feeder and a what? What did I say? A feeder and a what? Make sure y'all paying attention. You become a feeder and a what? Come on, know somebody paying attention. We like a little gossip. That's on you. Oh man, y'all ain't paying. I'm about to get okay. A scroller, feeders and scrollers. That's all we got is feeders and scrollers. You on the feed and just scrolling all day. And most of what you scrolling and you feed into, I'm gonna tell you the truth about this, is fake. It depends on who you follow. Maybe 10% of what you see is real. Maybe 1%. But most of it is fake. It's controlled by a bot, an algorithm, a company, a corporation. It's the same old, same old, same old, nothing new, refreshing, human, spiritual, nothing new. Do you notice that? I know I'm not the only one. It's the same shh. Damn. All these people in the world and we only get the same thing over and over. No, I'm not saving this life. It got to disappear. I love y'all. I appreciate you. Love yourself. Appreciate yourself. Add value to yourself. Click the link in the bio. Text bundle. You understand me? Just because we're going through recession don't mean you have to. And just because we're going through it don't mean you got to go through it alone. The strongest and most smartest things you can do is be a part of a community. You understand me? And that's what we're about, creating super communities. I love y'all, man. Peace.